All right, we're going to finish off 8.4. Again, we're going to look at, I guess, kind of like another pattern. We can still FOIL these out, but we're going to look at as a square of a binomial. So if you ever see you have a binomial, like this binomial of a plus b, if it's squared, what that means is I have two factors of a plus b. So just like saying if you had 2 squared, it's 2 times 2. If you have a plus b squared, it's a plus b times a plus b. If you had a minus b quantity squared, well, that means you have 2 factors of a minus b. And then once you have that set up, then you just FOIL it out. Okay, what a lot of students think they have to do is just square a and b, and that's not it. Okay, that's actually the previous pattern when you did product of a sum and difference. This is different. Okay, so if I looked at number 1, if I had the quantity of x plus 10 quantity squared, we have, this is the same thing as saying you have x plus 10 times x plus 10. And then we have to FOIL this out. Now, FOILing it out, this should be a review. So if I multiply the first term, x times x, that's x squared. If I multiply the outer terms, it's x, and this positive 10, which is plus 10x. If I multiply the inner terms, it's this 10 with this x, so it's another plus 10x. And then the last terms, 10 times this 10 is 100. Now when we combine these, it's going to be different from the product of a sum and difference. When we do square of a binomial, these terms, they're always going to be the same. So you actually wind up doubling the 10x. So 10x plus 10x is 20x, and then plus 100. Now I'll show you. I'm going to put this down here. This is a common mistake. Okay, the common mistake is when students see this, x plus 10 quantity squared, what they think you just have to do is just square this x, so it's x squared, and then square this 10, 10 squared is 100, and they think that's the answer. And they ignore this plus 20x. Well, you get that 20x from multiplying out the inner and the outer terms. So you can't just ignore that. So this we do not get. This is where you just write out the 2 factors and then use the FOIL method. Let's do number 3. So this just means we have 2x plus 3 times another 2x plus 3. I'm just going to FOIL it out. So when I multiply the first term, 2x times 2x is going to be 4x squared. Okay, the outer term, 2x times 3 is positive 6x. And then the inner terms, 3 times this 2x is the same thing, 6x. So again, you see the inner and the outer terms are going to be the same when you have a square of a binomial. Then we multiply the last terms, positive 3 times positive 3 gives us 9. And then if I just combine this, the 6x doubles to 12x, so we get 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I'm just going to do 1 and 3. There's really not a whole lot to it. Here's the main thing. Just make sure you don't make this mistake, because we see students do that all the time. You know, like if you see you have number 6, if it's 6x minus 1 quantity squared, well, that's the same as doing 6x minus 1 times 6x minus 1. Okay, and then you just have to FOIL it. So really the only new step is the beginning, writing out 2 of the same factors, and then you just use the FOIL method.